Hello, ladies and gentlemen. TAE Media back here with what seems to be the series finale spoilers for the originals, and I can probably say that if people are getting like very pressed about this on Twitter and other social media websites, like if you're that mad, I don't understand. I don't understand how a lot of people didn't see this coming. You have a spin-off with Hope as the lead character. Did anybody really think that Klaus and, Elijah were going to survive, given how the originals is pretty much their story? It's like, did you really expect both Stefan and Damon to survive on the Vampire Diaries? No. I don't. Anyway, spoiler alert for people that haven't heard or haven't looked around or don't want to be spoiled on the finale. And these aren't even for sure spoilers, they're rumors, but they're pretty obvious if you ask me. The spoiler going around is that both Klaus and Elijah die in the finale, killing themselves to get rid of the Hollow for good and thus saving Hope. Uh, no pun intended. Uh, this, and there's other spoilers that with all the actresses there and stuff, we're gonna get hallucinations of Haley, Cammy, Michael, and I think who's the other one? I'm trying to look at them all right now. I think the last one I seen was about was it Finn? Oh, yeah, it looks like he's Finn. I didn't see any pictures of Casper Zephyr, the actor for original Finn. Not Vincent Finn, but original Finn on set. So if he's there, that's a surprise to me. I guess I did spoil myself there, but if you follow any of the actors or actresses on Instagram, you've already seen Sebastian Roche. I hope I pronounced that right. Which is he plays Michael. He's there. He was there. Leah Pipes plays Cammy was there. Obviously Phoebe Tonkin, who plays Haley, was there. I do not understand how people get this. Like, what did you think was going to happen? Klaus and Elijah are both going to die. I pretty much knew that from the jump. The originals is Klaus's and Elijah's story, mostly. I would say Rebecca too, but she's only been in half the series because Claire Holt, has other projects and wants to do other things. Otherwise we would have gotten a lot more Rebecca for the last 5 years. And that's pretty much how I feel right now, looking at all these, spoilers and everybody's, hot takes. There's a lot of people saying, oh, no one's going to watch Legacies because the originals has been, has done us so wrong. Like, apparently, romantic relationships should take over the direction of a story. And when it's not, a Romeo and Juliet story, and that's just absurd. The originals from the jump. I think the main tagline of the show back in 2013 when it was announced was "Family is power." Family is power. That's the tagline of the show. That's pretty much been said like at the beginning and end of every season. It is about the Michelsons, and at the forefront of them is Klaus. So if you didn't think Klaus was going to die after you heard that Hope was getting her own spinoff, you seriously have misjudged your forward thinking regarding television. To have an uber powerful character like Klaus be hovering around while Hope is taking all these big bads herself, you don't know how this genre works, because that is not how it works. I'm still looking at the spoilers here to see if I see anything else that's like, obvious. I think with the finale might be a little predictable, but there's only really one way it can go that will both satisfy certain people and make sense. And I I'd rather have it make sense than, satisfy every freaking fan group in the entire, internet. Like, Klaus and Caroline aren't going to get happy ending. So what? Caroline's been in one season of the show, and it's not like it's the end of the world. I think it's much more. I get the Vampire Diaries ending was tragic with Stefan, but this one's probably going to be tragic too. Both groups of characters have been super tragic and super violent and super, you know, bad. So I don't understand why people all of a sudden are now thinking we're going to get some kind of happy ending in this story. The story doesn't call for it. Yeah, I know I've seen a lot of people out there that don't want a happy ending. I don't really want a happy ending. I don't think, do I think the characters deserve it in the direction they're going now? Sure. Do they deserve it for the thousands of years they've caused pain and misery? No. Wait, common sense, people. Klaus isn't going to get a happy ending. He never was. It's okay. And he's probably my favorite character in the whole universe. It doesn't matter. This is where his story always ended up. Same with Elijah. He's just as bad as Klaus. They're both two of the most prolific killers in the history of the TVD verse. They're bound to go out with a heroic bang, and that's probably coming Wednesday, saving their niece slash daughter. It's just, it came out wrong. Their niece and daughter. They came out with they came out with a spinoff about villains. The story's not going to end wrapped up in a bow. And their story of villains trying to turn the other cheek and be good is going to facilitate what is legacies and hope. Finally going full frontal good instead of having the past drag her down. Which is what happened with TVD and the originals. And it's just, it makes sense for the characters to go out kind of just like the Vampire Diaries. I'm not saying I want the same thing to happen, like Elijah switches places with Klaus and sacrifices himself. That's not exactly what I wanted. That's what I thought was going to happen up until, like a week or two ago, when I was like, man, there's no way you can really have legacies without killing Klaus. And, obviously, they're gonna die, I do not like the spoiler that, it's gonna end in a cliffhanger way. I don't really need that. I'd rather have, Klaus and Elijah's story wrapped up in a bow, while everybody else that's going to survive can be flooded out on legacies if they want, or I kind of hoped Marcel's story would be wrapped up in a bow by the time the show ends, but he's pretty much Hope's brother, so I don't see him going away forever. This needs to be, in a way, it's a lot of people's all losing hope. A lot of people need to realize that this show there's people on here complaining about, sorry for all the pauses, but there's people on here complaining about no romantic endings. Who cares? The show was never about romantic pairings. What do you mean? What do you mean? The show was never about that, just because you got it along the way. I understand why some people are pissed about Klaus and Caroline, especially if Klaus is going to die. Yeah, Klaus and Caroline have been teased for the better part of 10 years. But was either show about their relationship? No. Not at all. And I've been enjoying them this season. It's not like I hate them. I've been enjoying them. I've been enjoying Haley and Elijah this season. I've actually enjoyed all the romantic pairings this season of the originals. they're not the main focus of the show. There's no other way to say it. I don't know. I don't even want to. I don't want to keep repeating myself. I'm not gonna. This is just a short video. Pretty much ranting about the fact that the spoilers aren't that bad. Besides the fact that it might be a little cliffhangery in the aspect of the characters. I don't want there to be, like romantic cliffhangers is fine. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. It didn't need to be. As long as the original, I'd say 5. Because I don't see these characters really coming back at all. As long as Klaus, Elijah, Marcel, Rebecca, and Cole. Because as much as a lot of people like to say it, I don't see Cole coming back in Legacies at all. He might. I might be wrong. I don't see him coming back. I like to get a nice wrap up on him since we've kept him along all this way. Davina, I actually think will for sure be back in Legacies at some point in some way. A lot of people are like, she was only in this season for like an episode or so, but it don't matter. I think she'll be back. I think Marcel may be back, but I think this series is almost just as much about him as it is the original 3 characters. So I think he should get a nice wrap up if he's not coming back, and even sort of get one if he is. Klaus and Elijah obviously need to be super wrap up. I'm pretty positive they're both dying. The show's already been shot and stuff, so I'm pretty sure they're dying. Rebecca, yeah, I don't know, man. It's a lot of people don't like to say it, but it's been a mess with her since Claire Holt decided to leave. There's nothing against Claire Holt, but Rebecca, there's not really a giant ounce of, because you don't know if she'll be back. You don't know if she's not dying. How do you tie her to being away in Legacies? It's never gonna make sense. I hope Rebecca gets a good ending though. Hopefully her and Marcel get married like they deserve. Hopefully the original finale makes us all cry. Yeah, this show, like I said in the last episode review, this show could have one of the worst finales ever. I'm not gonna lie, but I think it will have one of the best, or one of the most satisfying. Vampire Diaries, everyone thought was gonna be trash. It was one of the most satisfying finales I ever saw. So I have the same faith in this show. This is TAA Media. I'm out. The original series finale is this coming up Wednesday, August 1st, on the CW. Be there, watch it, hate it or love it. I'm out. Peace.